My name is Lori Patel, and at 70 years old, I've learned that the Puget Sound's fog isn't just a weather pattern, it's a metaphor for how life can swallow you whole if you're not careful. I came to this country from Mumbai in 1975, with a nursing degree tucked in my suitcase and dreams bigger than the gateway of India. Back then, I was 20, wide-eyed, and utterly alone after my parents passed in a monsoon flood. America promised reinvention, and I grabbed it with both hands, scrubbing blood and tears from hospital beds at Swedish Medical Center in Seattle. 45 years of graveyard shifts, pulling 12-hour nights while the city slept under its evergreen blanket. I stitched up loggers with chainsaw gashes, held the hands of tech bros dying too young from stress-induced heart attacks, and whispered prayers in Hindi to the dying when their families couldn't bear to stay. It was in those fluorescent lit halls that I found Ravi. Not born to me, but adopted in every way that mattered. He was 8, a scrawny kid with eyes like polished onyx, dropped off at the foster system after his birth parents, fellow Indian immigrants, succumbed to the bottle and the bottle's endless regrets. I'd just lost my husband, Arun, to a logging accident up in the Cascades. One wrong chainsaw kickback, and he was gone, leaving me with a mortgage on our modest Kirkland split level and a hole in my chest wider than Lake Washington. The social worker called me one rainy Tuesday. "Mrs. Patel, there's a boy who needs a mother. He likes science books and hates loud noises. Sound like anyone you know?" Did it ever? Ravi came home with me that week, clutching a battered copy of the Magic School Bus. We bonded over samosas and Star Trek reruns, me teaching him to fold perfect dosas while he explained black holes like they were neighborhood gossip. "Beta, the universe is expanding," he'd say, his little fingers tracing invisible galaxies on our kitchen formica. But family? That's the gravity that holds it together. I believed him then. God, how I believed him. Raising Ravi wasn't easy. Bellevue in the 90s was booming with Microsoft money, but for a brown widow nurse, it felt like swimming upstream in the Sammamish River. I worked doubles to cover his braces, his violin lessons. He quit after one recital, too shy for the spotlight, and eventually, his tuition at Lake Washington High. Nights, I'd collapse into bed at dawn, my scrubs reeking of antiseptic, only to wake at noon to his questions. "Ma, why do trees need but people don't?" Even as a kid, he was obsessed with the environment, picking up litter on our hikes through Discovery Park, building solar-powered bird feeders from scrap wood. I called it his green fever. Arun would have loved it. He was a forester at heart, planting saplings before the mills claimed them. By college, Ravi was a force. He got into UW on a partial scholarship for environmental engineering, but the rest? That was me. I refinanced the house, a green card dream, bought with Arun's life insurance and my overtime pennies, taking a 30-year note at rates that made my stomach twist. "It's an investment, Ma," Ravi said, hugging me fierce on move-in day, the cherry blossoms swirling like confetti outside his dorm. "In me. In us." I nodded, blinking back tears, and drove home alone, the radio crooning some sad Bollywood tune about sacrifices. Grad school followed, then a string of jobs. Internships at the APA, a stint consulting for Boeing on sustainable fuels. I was there for every milestone, flying coach from Seattle to DC for his thesis defense, cheering from the back row in a sari that itched under the air conditioning. But Ravi's fire burned hottest for climate tech. "The world's on fire, Ma," literally, he'd rent over chai, showing me graphs of melting glaciers. "We need urban forests, vertical green walls in cities, sucking like vacuums. AI optimized, self-sustaining. It's the future." That's how Verdant Vale was born. In 2018, at 28, Ravi quit his cushy gig at Amazon to co-found the startup with Elena Voss, a Yale Poli-Sci whiz he'd met at ATEDx conference in Portland. Elena was all sharp edges, blonde bob, wire-rim glasses, and a TED Talk voice that could sell ice to Eskimos. She handled the business side, pitches to VCS, schmoozing at climate galas, while Ravi engineered the tech, modular wall systems laced with sensors that predicted growth patterns, dosed nutrients via app-controlled drips. It's not just green, Elena would say in their demo videos, her smile camera ready. It's intelligent green. I loved her at first. Or tried to. She was the first serious girlfriend Ravi brought home since college flings, and I cooked a feast, aloo gobi, butter chicken, naan baked fresh. Welcome to the family, beta, I said, pressing a bindi to her forehead. She laughed politely, complimenting the spices but picking at her plate like it might bite back. Ravi beamed, squeezing my hand under the table. Ma's the real MVP, Elena. She kept me grounded. Grounded. That word haunts me now. The investment came in 2023, when Verdant Vale was a seed stage dream teetering on the edge. They'd bootstrapped with freelance gigs, but scaling meant prototypes, patents, a warehouse in South Lake Union. Ravi called me one foggy evening, voice cracking over the line. Ma, we're close. But we need a bridge. $2.1 million. It's everything, labs, hires, the Spheres demo,